after he bowled his first 2 or 3 overs. I think he was given a break for I think 1 over. Then he came back when Virat came out to bat.
What was he doing when Virat was batting?
I think Virat had some issue with the side screen or somebody running across that side screen, and David Willey just showed him that ball.
Can you see it?
Can you see it now? And he was laughing. And the very next ball, in fact, that very ball,
yes,
Virat just missed it. He was beaten all ends up, and in the very same over, then we saw what happened. He's trying to poke.
Okay, plenty to talk about. Firstly, I mean, it was said of Lords that chasing is not great here because the pitch tends to get slower and lower. But here it wasn't a case of that. It was a case of some lazy batting or dismissal. Rohit Sharma also, the way he got out.
I think had it been a score in excess of around 300, India's approach would have been a little different. I thought India, they were ready to bide their time only because the score wasn't too much. It was a 247 run target. India thought that they can actually take time, but and also full credit to the English bowlers. This English bowling attack is not as experienced as it would have been had somebody like Chris Wokes or Mark Wood would have been there. David Willey, of course, we know he's a good white ball expert. Not expert.
No, he's an expert.
Okay, white ball expert. But the Indians, they looked a little rusty. Virat played 3 shots that were brilliant to start with.
How did you predict that he will play 3 very good shots or 4? No, actually you fell short of your prediction.
Yes.
You had said 4 good shots will come.
4 good shots
before he gets out, but 3 good shots came.
Yes.
So you were slightly off on your prediction on that one.
Absolutely. I was completely off today. 359 didn't happen.
India will chase 110%.
247. England basically scored 246 and they won by 100. So even that, if you add up both the numbers, still you'll.
So 359 did not come true.
Did not happen.
110%. India will chase it down. Did not come true. Virat will play 4 good shots. Didn't happen.
Didn't happen. I said 4 boundaries though.
Good shot.
So 16, but Virat.
But the boundaries were 3 now.
Shikhar Dhawan was looking very, very, very rusty. Very rusty.
But you can't blame him considering that he doesn't play too often. I mean, he plays 1 game and I forget by the time the next time he plays. 1 series. I don't know when we'll. Oh, luckily there is 1 series now in West Indies. We'll get to see him. Otherwise.
Virat.
Shikhar.
Shikhar, yeah. He's the
captain. You don't get to see him.
Yeah. So you'll forget also. Thereafter, what is the next series that we are playing in 1 days?
Then I don't know. By the way, our good friend Chandresh is here with his super chat. He was talking about his favorite subject.
Tail
has done.
Zimbabwe, no, Zimbabwe I know, but 1 days, yeah, we are playing
Zimbabwe
right,
1 days,
right.
Yes. So his favorite subject, India let England off the hook after the 6th wicket. Agreed. That partnership between Moeen Ali and Willey, right? That is what, but that's not the tail.
Exactly. No, still I can understand, you had England 101 for 5?
Yeah, something like
that. No, 101 for 5, India were 101 for 5.
No, they were also, please show us the scorecard. England
batted first, no?
Yeah, go down. Yeah.
They were 102 for 5, then 148 for 6. So he's saying India let England off the hook after
this at 148.
Okay.
So he's saying at 148 for 6, India should have ideally got them for 210 or whatever. But India would have still fallen short.
Exactly. I'll agree with Chandresh that maybe they would have become a little casual, but still, 246 any day. India would.
It's not the bowling that has lost you the game for India. It's not the bowling that has lost.
But still, I'll agree with Chandresh to a great extent. But when India decided to bowl first, I think
was a bit surprising.
India would have taken. No, India would have still
No,
taken.
they would have
46.
taken this, but I'm saying it was a bit surprising considering that it's often said about Lords that it's a bit slow. In the second half.
And you also have to decide what is your strength. You may want to see it as you have a great batting lineup. You have a Rohit Sharma, Shikhar Dhawan, Virat Kohli. Top 3 has so much experience. Rohit Sharma almost an average of close to 49. Shikhar Dhawan an average of 45 with over 6,000 runs. For Rohit more than 8,000 runs. Virat Kohli then an average of 50, an experience of so many matches. But is batting your strength now?
No, batting is a strength. Look at the T20I series. Look at this ODI. Also, it's 1-1. So I'm not going to.
No, T20 is also your bowlers.
No. But I'm saying your batting also stepped up. I'm only saying that I'm not worried about India's batting. I will talk about 2 players that I will be worried about in the batting. I think the bowling is outstanding again. In batting, 2 batsmen, Rishabh Pant and Virat Kohli.
Rishabh was unlucky, no?
No, what? That's not unlucky. He was tentative. See, I'll tell you what. I'll tell you why if I was to just analyze, and I think somebody is asking, Kamlesh Parmar is asking, say something about Rishabh. So, if I was to just look at this, see, firstly, overall, I'd love to know your thoughts. First, I'll just finish with what I think. Overall, I think Rishabh Pant really needs to pull up his socks in white ball format. I don't think he's a guarantee in white ball cricket. He's a good keeper. Okay, but he needs to be pulling his weight as a batsman also. He is undoubtedly one of the top match winners in Test cricket, no doubt about it. He's there. In white ball cricket, we see the potential in him, and I think he can be that destructive batsman, but he needs to come good on that promise. At the moment, it's not happening. He needs to find a way to do that. And you never know, if this continues, India goes to someone else, even if they're not going to someone like an Ishan Kishan and they don't think DK is the guy. I'm just talking about one day cricket. They could very well even go to KL Rahul, which is an option that they've always said that they can explore. KL Rahul will obviously make the team as a batsman, but they might go back to that option. That's another thing. Today's dismissal, I thought, just looking at the way, it was a situation which I think he was in a catch-22. He didn't know what to do. Because that situation demanded that spend time on the crease, there's not too much pressure of run rate or anything. So bat yourself and get runs. I think that is what he was trying to do. However, I do not think that kind of an approach suits his game, because this ball, which is a full toss on his leg, if he didn't have this cautious approach, he would have whacked it for a 6.
Absolutely.
Right? But he did not. What did he do? 2 minds. He played, it was a no shot at all, and it gets caught because he's caught between, should I be playing that daring cricket, which I know, or should I just be careful, because if I play a rash stroke and I get out, then people will say this was not a situation to be batting like this. What a stupid way. Be mature, show your maturity, just get your single, double and win the game. You don't need too many runs to do. So I think he was caught between that. It's now up to him to clear his mind. I don't think there is anything wrong with both approaches, whether it's being aggressive or being defensive, but it's for Rishabh to decide which approach to take. I think, and now we have the benefit of the hindsight, that it would have worked better for him had he continued to play his natural game, as in had an attacking mindset. So what if he got out? I wouldn't have looked at it.
I completely agree with you, everything that you've said, even the ball that got him out, because a normal Rishabh Pant would have at least gone through with that shot. I'm not saying somewhere in mid wicket or on the onside, but still, long on also. Over long, he would have easily cleared mid on. He would have easily. So I think everybody was suffering from the same problem when you say tentative. Rohit Sharma took 10 deliveries, couldn't get off the mark. Of course, on the 10th delivery, he got himself out. Then Rishabh Pant played 8 balls without scoring a run. Virat Kohli also, to start with, I think for his first 7 deliveries didn't fetch him a single run. So this is what you've said. Just to add to that, I would say, I think this is absolutely clear that Rishabh Pant, as a white ball cricketer, as a white ball batsman, has not done justice to his potential. What he's achieved in Test cricket. That kept aside, I think Rishabh Pant has not been used or utilized in the right way also. Not with this regime, not with this team management, but in the with the earlier team. What happened with the last regime or the last team management? I think they've given a clear role to Dinesh Karthik as a wicket keeper. I'm talking about T20 also. I'll just include white ball both. But here also you have to tell him. You have to speak to that 24-year-old boy.
I remember
that you have a role. Today, you had lost 2 key wickets. You had lost Rohit Sharma, your 2 of the most experienced batsmen you had lost, and did you have at the other end? One batsman who's struggling for runs, who's struggling for form, who's struggling to keep his place in the team. Unfortunately, I have to say that I'm talking about Virat Kohli, and you've sent him ahead of Surya Kumar Yadav. You sent him ahead of Hardik Pandya. Surya Kumar Yadav has all the confidence that he...
No, but then that's a good thing. Now you're giving him confidence to Rishabh by sending him there, that you expect
at least give him a clear role. At least make him understand.
How do we know that he's not been told? I remember Rahul Dravid coming out and saying, during one of the series where he came out and said thing about Rishabh, that we have given him a clear role, we've told him what to do, and he defended him by saying that, listen, we accept this, that certain days he will get out playing this kind of shots,
yes,
but we'll take it. We prefer a Rishabh. He had mentioned something like that. I remember.
It should be fine with everybody.
Yeah, I'm saying okay, forget everything. If I'm Rishabh Pant, I've been sent there. The runs are for me to take, right? It's a perfect situation. I need to win the match for my team. I have been sent, irrespective of who's coming after me or not. It's not a very tough chase that I'm doing. It's not a 320, 330 chase and we've lost. I know that it's a chase that if I bat sensibly, I can achieve it. So now the stage is for you to show your talent. You go there, finish the game off, people will remember you.
I am not taking the blame away from Rishabh Pant. I am just saying maybe the team management has not given him a clear role. You have to make him understand.
In this case, what role do you want? You've gone there, you know how to do. You played international, finished the match.
You could have finished the match today. Not just Rishabh Pant. I am saying all these batsmen could have finished. The entire team could have finished the match. Yeah. Why did you want to experiment with his position?
No, he bats at number 4.
I understand it could be the logic.
He bats at number 4.
The logic could be left, right.
Yeah, but he bats at number 4 many times. It's not the first time.
Not in ODIs. I can still understand.
No, he's batted at 4.
But you already...
How does it... I am saying you've gone there. You've batted in the IPL also at that position. It's nothing alien to you. You go there, finish it.
I am not defending Rishabh Pant. At the end of the day, whatever, it is the Indian team. There are people who are waiting in the wings. There are people not just waiting in the wings. There are people who think that I can do better than him. I can do better than a particular player or any other player. And he's getting an opportunity to bat, and wherever the team asks him, he has to bat there and he has to get runs. Unfortunately, he's not been getting runs. That's his, he has to take the blame.
Absolutely.
It will be Rishabh Pant. In case tomorrow if he's dropped, Rishabh Pant will be dropped on the basis of his poor performance. As simple as that.
Exactly.
Rahul Dravid will once again come out in the for a press conference. If you again ask him, are you worried about Rishabh's form? Are you worried about Virat Kohli's form? He would say, we have a role for both of them. We've spoken to them. We know they are good quality batsmen, what they are capable of doing. But then one fine day, a bell will ring and you will get to know that you are not part of the India team.
So while I agree that you have a point that maybe Surya or someone could have been promoted earlier, but that's a tactical decision which Indian team could have done better. But I'm saying if they were not and Rishabh went, then that doesn't absolve Rishabh of any reason. He should have come and scored his run and finished off the game.
Tomorrow team management tomorrow team management can ask you to open with Rohit Sharma and you are chasing a score in excess of 350. You, irrespective of whether you get 100 or whether you get a 0, whether you want to open or not, but you will have to.
Absolutely. Arsalan Khan from the UK says, why in ODIs Jadeja cannot finish do or die matches? I'm just going to talk about today's match. I think he had no support from the other end, right? I mean, once he lost Hardik, I think the game was done and dusted. He was batting with Shami. I don't think at that time he had any hope.
But Nikhil, you have to be honest enough. There was a hope when Hardik Pandya and Jadeja were batting. There was a hope.
I'm saying when Hardik got out.
Yeah.
After that.
Because that was the last.
Jadeja got out after it. Na? Jadeja got out after that. So I'm saying at that moment, he could have. Maybe they needed a bigger partnership like the one that Willie and Moeen Ali also had.
Yes.
Yeah, you could have.
Willie, I think Willie both with bat and ball.
Yeah. But credit to
Reece Topley.
Their batting, the lower.
Yes.
So, credit where it's due. And also their bowling, by the way, today. Reece Topley, outstanding. And this is why we kept saying, I mean, people may be surprised after the results that you got in the T20s and the first ODI, that it's going to be a cakewalk. Maybe it's also a reality check. There is a reason why England are the one-day world champions. And there is a reason why when you were asked for predictions, everyone pandas for 3-0 prediction, panned me at least for the 3-0 prediction. And my colleagues,
said 2-1?
Here I've said 2-1. So it's already 1-1. So it will end 2-1. This series. It cannot be that cakewalk. So they are a good team. You got to admit that as well. Yes, Saurav Mukherjee says, irony that media is wasting time on discussion on failed players and yet expect results to go in the team's favor. Let's celebrate mediocrity. I can't understand.
Yes, Saurav, there are 11 players who are playing today. Another 11 will play again tomorrow or in West Indies. A different set of 11 players played the T20s. So what do we do?
So I can't understand. The discussion by media.
We have to discuss about the players.
That has an impact on the team's result. I can't understand. So if you are discussing about failed players, and yet expect results to go in the team's favor, why can't both be together? Why do they have to be mutually exclusive?
Yes.
Why can't they both go in together? You can be talking about players that have failed, discussing, and yet expect the results to go in the team's favor. Both can happen simultaneously. They're not, exclusive to each other.
And we can't just go gaga over what the players have done as in gaga, as in if they are winning, if they are performing, you just celebrate, you go gaga over their performances. When they fail, you have to scrutinize their performances.
Yep. iRule says from Canada, ODI format is dying. It's a snooze fest, just drags. I just have one line to add to that. In the words of MS Dhoni, nothing more to add. It is so true, iRule, and we had forewarned all our family members as well as my team members here that listen, ODIs are coming up. It's going to be rather painful to be watching this format. And we were discussing how T20 is exciting and how Test cricket is exciting. Because Test cricket is like multiple T20 games, like 3 games in a day. It was session by session, so exciting. And the larger picture is...
Especially in South Africa, Australia and England.
Yeah, absolutely.
Can you say the same thing if Test...
No, actually in India it's also exciting because wickets keep falling.
Get over in 2.5
All
days.
sessions are exciting. But I'm sorry to say, but in one-day cricket, it's just caught between a rock and a hard place at the moment, the format, because it's not giving you that kind of, in-depth tactical things that you see in Test cricket. That planning and plotting a wicket and how you work on a particular player, how you work on his patience, and that kind of dynamics that come with Test cricket. It's not giving you that, and what T20 gives you is bang bang. So in comparison to what you see in T20, this also seems pale. So it's just caught between these two formats, and two formats that are best in either sides of the spectrum. So one is giving you that patience, concentration, tactics sort of aspect in Test, which is this end, and the other end, which is the bang bang format, which T20 is. And one day is in the middle. It's not giving you either the best here or the best there. So leave it. That I have to agree.
Two
ODI
things,
format.
yeah, two things. Of course, what Chandresh said, our data analyst, he has just announced, in fact, informed us that India after the T20 World Cup are going to play 3 ODIs against New Zealand.
Just keep don't move it. And
the other one, if I remember your name correctly, this was from Aditya Krishnan. He said, for God's sake, admit that Virat Kohli has technical flaws. I think
no, he's right.
Yes, but who's denying that?
Yeah, we've admitted it. In fact, we have got trolled and abused for admitting that. And I don't know why people think that if you call what you see, then you are a hater of that person. I don't think I am a hater of Virat Kohli.
Absolutely.
And why should I hate him as in like...
Exactly.
He's not done anything to me. I mean, there is no reason. You're just supposed to comment on the game. And this is what I was discussing with Rahul earlier also. That earlier there was only talk about he has technical deficiency outside the off stump, and so said, oh, that is a problem area, he needs to work on that. As was in the England tour, he worked on it and came back. Today the problem is not one, there are so many problems, as in we know that when a leg spinner comes, that is causing him problem. We've seen it in the IPL and other format. Now we know when a left arm fast bowler is coming, he's going to cause you problem. When there's an off spinner come, we know that as soon as Moeen Ali will get the ball in his hand, he is going to cause him problem. We know that a good swing bowler will trouble him outside the off stump, he will cause him problem. So I am saying the problems are multiplying, and I don't think that at the moment it's mental. I think, of course, everything is mental eventually, but I think there are technical issues, and there are technical issues at various levels. Whether it is, that we've spoken about it 100 times, that he's a bottom hand player, and with age, when your reflexes slow down, he will have it tough to score runs. Maybe he's reached that level. Nobody thought that dip in form will come so sudden and it will be so drastic.
Exactly.
Everyone expected a dip in form,
yes,
and everyone knows that with time you will never be at the peak, but it's happened suddenly and it's happened so fast. I think that is the bit that has surprised all of us. And dare I say, I've said it before, that he will get you runs. Maybe he gets runs here, there. Maybe he gets 100 here and there, or a good 50, or a 60, or a 70 in different formats. They might come. But what you have seen of Virat Kohli, the run machine, the century maker, the chase master, the guy who would get 100 every third or the fourth inning, just dominated bowling all across the world. I think that you will never be able to see that, and that is where the technical issues come in. I think that is a reality. We need to accept it. If we're going to keep living in the past, all great players have got great records. Sachin Tendulkar had great records. That didn't mean that he was as dominating at the end of his career as he was before that. Same with Gavaskar, Viv Richards, everyone.
But he still found a way to score runs.
Yes, but he did. But I'm saying he was technically different to what Virat is. I'm saying that, see, again, now it's not happened, Rahul, that, one game, the next one. Now it's been 2.5 years. There have been a lot of innings. We've seen so many IPL games, 2 seasons of IPL, and he's tried all approaches. It's not that, he's making the same mistake as in, he's being impatient. Every time he's being impatient, he's trying to hit and he's getting out. No, there have been times he's been extra patient also, where he said, I will not make a mistake today, I'll keep leaving I'm looking at different format.
In fact,
that's also not
majority of the runs that majority of the matches where he's got good runs in Test cricket have been because he's been patient. But we think that he's patient. Maybe he's struggling.
Yeah. No, I'm saying his approach I can see. See, there are various ways, right? If you're struggling from you try to get that form back by doing various things. One, you do visualization, one you do, okay, today I'll play attackingly. I'm Virat Kohli, I'm the best batsman in the world, which he believed he is, and he was. Oh, I'm going to attack. Why should I go into my shell? He's done that also. Yet the runs haven't come. There have been certain times he said, no, I will not be restless. I will take my time, spend some time on the crease and get runs. He's tried that approach, is also not worked. He has tried various different approaches in different ways in the last 2.5 years, and we see cricket day in and day out, and I'm sure you guys do that too. You are as big as cricket nuts as we are. And we've been noticing this game after game. He tries different things. He's trying. I mean, you have to give him full marks for trying. Just that it's not happening, and that's why I'm now beginning to fear the worst. That Yes, maybe once or twice we'll see some good innings here and there, but they will be very sporadic, very rare. It will be spread over a long time. You will now not keep seeing consistently that Virat Kohli. That's going to be a reality. And the earlier, we accept the truth, the better. It's like, I was a fan of Ronaldo, the Brazilian Ronaldo, the fat Ronaldo.
Yeah. Now fat.
No, he was also and healthier. Yeah. So there's one Ronaldo which is thin. One was the heftier one, even in his playing days.
Sturdy.
So Brazilian Ronaldo, El Phenomena, right? You called him. So if you remember, at his peak, he was untouchable. He was just a different beast. Like he was here, and the rest of the world was right. And you thought, that's it, he will go on like that. Then he got a knee injury and there was a sudden dip, and he was never like that. And as a fan, and it's not that he had become very old when the dip came, and as a fan it was very hard for me to accept that someone who was like almost godlike, who just was on a different level, as a fan you expect, okay, his end will come, but it will come gradually, and maybe goal scoring will reduce a little, and then he'll fade away. It didn't happen like that. He was there, tuck, he's down, and it's very tough to imagine and tough for you to digest as a fan, but sometimes the writing is on the wall.
So basically, in short, you're saying we've seen the best of Virat Kohli.
Yeah, I know it's a big statement to make. I think he will still have a few very good innings that we may discuss in years to come, and we will say, oh, one of the best. But I'm saying now those number of innings, he's 33 years of age. I don't know how long he'll play. Let's assume he'll go to 36, 37. I'm only taking...
He's 34, no?
33, I think.
No, he turned 34, no?
No, he turned 33, I think.
He turned 33.
I think so. He's 33, 34, whatever it is. I'm just saying. I'm saying at best 37, 38 is almost where batsmen go till. 40 is a rarity. There will only be one Sachin Tendulkar. So even though he is very fit, but the form will be looked at. So that's a rarity. So even in the 3-4 years, assuming that the Indian team persists with him and he keeps playing, even in the 3-4 years, typically with Virat, big knocks would be like 10, 12 a year, 13 a year he would get, at least those many. So if he was going to play another 4 years, if it was a typical Virat, you would have seen 30, 40 more good innings from him, right? That's how he would have gone. But now what you're seeing in the last 2.5 years, maybe it is the next 2.5 years, 3-4 years of his career, not as bad as the 2.5 years. Maybe they're slightly better, where you get to see some good knocks. But you'd be lucky if you see 10 very good knocks from him before he retires.
I completely agree with you, and I also think that this is possibly the last year that we are seeing Virat Kohli in T20 International. I don't think maybe after the T20 World Cup or after 2022. I don't think we'll see Virat Kohli in T20 internationals.
But people who are his fans can see him at the IPL.
No, I'm saying internationals.
But I'm saying if they want to see him play T20, he'll continue to play. I Rule from Canada says, the more I see the likes of Dhoni, Yuvraj and now Rohit and Kohli during the back end of their careers, the respect for Sachin grows even more. I completely agree. It's a very, very good point, I Rule.
Absolutely.
See, again, it happened with Dhoni as well. He was Superman. He could do no wrong. But they reached a stage where the finishes that would happen so often, he still did a few.
Even the T20, even the 2019 World Cup, he was struggling.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. No, the great finishes that would happen so often, almost every match, the frequency reduced. He would still bring you those finishes, but the frequency reduced. And that's what I'm saying, that good knocks from Virat may still come, but I think the frequency is going to reduce and the gap will be very big. And that if he plays 3-4 years, those 10 good knocks will be down to 3 or 4 at best.
That's why you have to doff your hat at somebody like Joe Root. He was in the Fab Four.
Yes.
And
but the advantage with Joe Root is that he was never a T20.
No, that's fine.
So he could just focus on Test cricket.
Still, he was in that Fab Four, and suddenly those runs dried up for him also.
Yes.
And what happened? He had a very poor a couple of years or maybe 3 years, and now for the last 2 years, what he has done, he has redefined himself. He is now head and shoulders above everybody. You can't, I think we've seen Steve Smith, we've seen Virat Kohli also, but I think the kind of form that he is in, maybe Virat Kohli comes close, but although what you are saying, Virat Kohli was an all format player, but still, ruling that one format this way, I think he has redefined himself. Maybe Virat can redefine himself if he drops out of one format, but still I think
but
it
Rahul,
may be difficult
you're
for
right.
Virat.
But what I'm saying is, see, again, it goes to that technical issues. What I'm saying is that let's assume that Virat drops himself from one format. That means he'll play less cricket, so that's an advantage, and maybe he will have to concentrate on one format or two formats, which he can mold his game accordingly. But I'm saying the problem here is, as we were saying, there seems to be a technical issue, right? That he's a bottom hand player, that fraction of an issue with hand-eye coordination, marginal is the issue. I mean, Virat, let's say at his peak of hand-eye coordination, the same ball where he tried to poke at, he may not have, he probably would have waited for the ball and timed it for a 4. Through covers. He was going for the ball, maybe because he's not sure. That's what I'm saying. That fraction of a second, that extra second or the marginal second that he had to spot the ball and what to do, to go back or be in the front foot or drive a ball or defend at it. The various decision that a mind has to take is that micro
reaction time
has
reduced.
So all of that's what I'm saying. All of that is what causes an issue. So even if he was to drop out of T20, do you still see him get runs? I'm saying he may still, but the frequency is reduced. You'll never see him.
I agree that we have already seen the best of Virat Kohli. He's given us many memorable innings, years in fact. But unfortunately, what we are looking at is maybe we've already seen
the back end of his career right now. So Harit Yadav says, I bet Virat will not score any 100 ever again. Rohit may score 3-4 more. No ICC trophy for us till these two don't retire. Harit, I'll answer the last part of your question. No ICC trophy for us till these two retire. I think that's a very harsh statement, and there is no basis to that. I mean, there is no way that you can say that could be the reason. I think there are 2 ICC trophies coming up, and India will go in as one of the favourites in that.
Surely for the next year's ODI World
50 over World Cup, exactly. So I don't know whether that would be the case. Rohit can score is because, that's what I'm trying to say. With Rohit, his game has not changed. His run making or whatever is primarily, a lot of times he gets out because of his shot making, and he's choosing the wrong shots to play or is not being patient enough to continue. But as you're seeing, even in Test cricket, when he spends time, he gets you run. In one-day cricket, as you saw in the last ODI, he has all the time. So the timing hasn't deserted him. He's not a bottom-handed player, so he's that way his eyesight is still working good. His hand-eye coordination is there. If he can hook a fast bowler for 6 at the consistent level that he's doing, just tells you that is not an issue that has come up with him. So I think the problem with Rohit will not be so much hand-eye coordination or any technical issue. The problem maybe is fitness going forward the next few years. I think that is something.
Rohit's biggest problem would be his fitness, because Rohit is a player who has maybe a couple of shots for every delivery. That much time he has. And that is the reason why he has done well over the years. It is always about Rohit Sharma's talent. Only the fitness issue may stop him going forward.
So that's the last 2 parts of your question. The first, he says, I bet Virat will not score any 100 ever. That's again a big call, Harit. I think he will. I think
you're being a little too harsh for all these players, and including the Indian team. Let's hope for the best, and we all want to see Virat score runs. We all want to see Rohit Sharma get those runs, and we all want to see India once again winning the ICC trophy, and hopefully it will happen.
Let's take a few more questions. Just don't move from there. Sai Kiran says, don't talk about Virat's career finishing 100 centuries loading. Talk about Rishabh. Sai, we spent the first 10 minutes of this show talking about Rishabh, so you can go back and hear that. And as far as Virat is concerned, maybe what you say could be, again, it's our opinion versus yours. Maybe your opinion could be right, but I don't know. If you were to ask
100 centuries, not possible. Not possible.
I don't think so.
Something miraculous has to happen. And for your next question, no. I don't think I should include Nikhil at least for this comment. But I am not a PR for Rishabh Pant. Because you, obviously, I don't think this question was directed towards you.
Even
this,
if it is, I'm
statement.
not
Anyways,
going to answer every question.
There is one method he hasn't tried yet. This is Dharmesh Akotia, which is going back to domestic first class cricket and scoring runs. There is nothing compared to staying at the crease for some time. I think we've taken this point earlier also. He doesn't have time. Trust me, we all can say, okay, he can play here, he can play there, but he doesn't have time. He is now deciding which tournament or which series to play and which not to. IPL, of course, is sacrosanct. You can't drop out of IPL. You have to play, and rest of the series. So he has to manage his workload also, and I don't think that is possible going back to domestic cricket and playing. Maybe he can do play a one-off game or a couple of games if in case it happens. He's quit T20 internationals altogether, and there is a season whenever it happens. But I don't know.
No, the other thing is, see, the whole going back to domestic cricket usually was discussed when, in previous years, when there wasn't too much international cricket. What you would tell, like, oh, this is off season. Listen, you're not. So a player would be out of form. You'd say this is off season, or not too much international cricket happening. So how does a player get back into form? They used to go to domestic cricket, play there, and then get back into form. Today, I don't think he needs to go to domestic cricket, which of course you'll have to agree is a tier below international level, when he can continue to play international cricket and try and get his form back. I agree with you that he needs to spend time at the crease, but I think that's what he's trying by playing international cricket wherever he is. So, let's say whatever matches he played here, his intention was to spend time on the crease. Unfortunately, that's not happening. So maybe he's now taking the other approach that, listen, I need to step back, get away from cricket and then get runs. If he has to continue playing cricket and get runs back or time in the middle, then he would have said, no, I'll play West Indies. What better place to get runs than international cricket against better bowler, better competition, better higher pressure games than playing in domestic? I don't think that will really help. I think he's going to continue playing international cricket, and as he's seeing it, and we're just sitting on the outside, but it's pretty evident when he's deciding which series to play that he is not looking at it this way, that I need to play more and more cricket to get back into form. I think he's trying to play less cricket, trying to unwind a bit, unclutter his mind by not playing too much cricket. So that's where he's at.
Okay, Dex says AB de Villiers was always on the top of his game till his retirement once he hit his prime in 2008. So why Virat is going through a phase like this?
Different players, no? It's much like a lot of other players, as I said, that good players is a different type of player and different type technically. And again, I keep going back to the same thing again, Virat's being a bottom hand player and that hand-eye coordination coming in, that wasn't the issue with someone like a AB de Villiers. So he didn't have that issue. The other example I'll give you was Virender Sehwag, who's a bottom hand player. He had that problem. As soon as he lost his hand-eye coordination, you saw a dip in his form. And so then it will happen with a few players. That also works for them, but that also becomes their bane. So it's just, give and take sort of a thing. Some things that is advantages also becomes your disadvantage going later. So AB was a different type of player, which is why when you are comparing Rohit and Virat also, that is a similar comparison. Don't move till we are finished with the questions. We were
Tushar Pandey had a question. He wanted to ask you, I think, about Prasiddh Krishna. He's saying, why are we not
just stop somewhere.
He was asking
what is it?
He was asking you about Prasiddh Krishna. Why are we not using Bhuvneshwar Kumar in one days?
No, I would like to see him in one day, but I think they're rotating fast bowlers. If you see, Bumrah also is being resting, and Bhuvi has now been playing continuously.
I think Bhuvi
He'll play the World
I
Cup.
think most likely we'll see more of Bhuvi in one days after the T20 World Cup. That's what I think.
Yeah.
You will see him
Yes.
here and there.
I agree.
But as of now, Bhuvi has found his rhythm, and let's not juggle around with Bhuvi as far as formats are concerned. Let's focus on the T20 World Cup. Bhuvi is bowling exceptionally well, especially when conditions are favorable for the fast bowlers. And Bhuvi, let him focus on the T20 World Cup. Then after that, I hope you'll see more of Bhuvi in one days. Irul is saying, what's your preference? Super fit player with good skills or excellent skills but average fitness? Choose one.
No, very easy answer. I mean, sport is about skill at the end of the day. A fitness is just a support for you to execute that skill at the best level. So, for example, if you're a cricketer, your skill is to get runs, and I would want someone to get runs. And if he's not a super fit, I don't need him to be a marathon runner. I don't need him to be a sprint champion. I need him to get runs. And his fitness should be good enough for him to finish his runs and bat for that much long. So, skill is number one. If I'm a footballer, my skill, whether I'm a forward, should be to score goal.
Yes.
If I'm a defender, is to defend goals. And that skill has to be the best. How much I run on the field, if I run more than my teammates, or if I run faster than is of no use till such time my skills are not good. So what fitness does is support your skills, but primarily it's the skill. It's what you are assigned to do. That's what makes you a player. Otherwise, you wouldn't have, if you're picking the best team in cricket, football, whatever, you won't have trials where you see the skill of the player. Then you would just make them run.
Yeah.
Why you go to a cricket trial, you get them to bat and you get them to bowl. Now you see the skill. Otherwise, you don't need to do it. You say, okay, who can run the farthest and the fastest or whatever? Do 2-3 of these drills and pick players. It won't happen.
Rohit
Easy
Sharma is your prime example as of today.
Yeah. See, again, and Virat is also a prime example. If you would ask Virat, he's the fittest, but right now his skills are failing him.
Virat was one of the most skillful players.
Yes.
And that fitness only enhanced his performance.
Exactly.
That's it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, let's take all the questions one by one. Sarang Purohit, can Jadeja bat ahead of Hardik Pandya in ODIs? Arnab Pal is saying Virat Kohli should take batting techniques. Okay, Mohammad Shami, of course, that's
No, I'm not even
that's
taking,
I think that was a joke.
Yeah.
Then DJ Coral 8. No one talks about this, but India's biggest weakness in tournaments is a complete non-batsman from number 8 onwards. They will inevitably be needed in one game. Okay, you can win series like this, but not tournaments.
No, I think Indian batting, the low order till 7th you'll have Jadeja. At 8, if Bhuvi is playing, then he comes at 8. So your batting is pretty okay. And 9, Shami is not bad for a number 9. So your only 2 tail enders will be Bumrah and Yuzi Chahal. So I don't think it's that bad. And if your top 7, 8 cannot do the game, you can't always expect that. I am not too worried about that lower order. It's not that bad. By the way, and if if a Deepak Chahar can be fit and firing on all cylinders, and if he makes the team, you never know. Again, he makes your batting even stronger. So I'm not too worried. Pradeep Srivastav has a good point. He says just one bad day at the office. England bowled well. India will come back. That I agree. Not too much to read. Go down. एकदम bottom पे. हाँ, रुक जाओ please. Ninad has a question. Does Virat have more power than the BCCI because he is not crop?
No, he doesn't.
Abhi Pathak is saying.
Did you guys? Okay, you can check.
Let's just
Rahul
see.
Rana says, don't you guys think India's batting collapses have been a lot in the past 1 year, and batting is struggling a lot and causing us big defeats? What's been the major cause, and what is the best solution?
So Babar Azam has tweeted saying, this too shall pass, stay strong, with a picture with Virat Kohli. That this is a bad phase, this will pass. So what that tells me, it's good for him. I think they have a lot of mutual respect for each other, two top level batsmen, and it's good to see them come out and support each other. But you know what this also tells me is that you know, people have begun to realize that there is a problem there.
That's what I'm saying. There are you can actually
this is a clear support.
No, clear support, but
Yeah.
it's also an acknowledgement that Virat is struggling.
Yes, and I'm saying it's for the very first time, because before this, you and I would say that yes, there is a problem, but we would get a lot of abuse from the fan army saying that, you know, we are biased or whatever, we don't like him, whatever. But nobody was choosing to see that there is this phase. Now it has two things have happened today, which is at least now people are accepting that there is an issue. At least there is talk about it. Again, nobody hopes that this bad form continues. Hope he gets back into form. But at least people are realizing. Saurav Ganguly, the BCCI president today, while he also gave support to Virat Kohli,
with a rider that he needs to find a way.
Yeah, but he gave support to Virat Kohli, that he's a class player, and but his statement was also the first acceptance by the BCCI that there is a problem, where he says that yes, Virat has not been doing at the lofty standards that he has said, and he himself would be disappointed.
But Rohit also admitted. Rohit said one series here, one or two.
No, but he
series
said
here.
one series. But
no, he said 1 or 2 series here and there, or 1 or 2 years of bad form.
he said it doesn't make any difference. But Ganguly has said that Virat will be disappointed. So it's the first time. See, till now we had not heard from Virat Kohli, we had not heard from the BCCI about that there is an issue, that there is a form issue. Now when a BCCI president says that, listen, Virat himself would be disappointed with Varia, first time, and he's now talking as a board president, first time there is an acknowledgement or an acceptance that yes, there is dip in form. Similarly, like Babar Azam, when he tweets this tweet out in support of Virat Kohli, first thing is the acceptance, where he is accepting, and now all I'm saying is that it's moved beyond the sports studio. Earlier it just existed here. Now it's beyond here, where people are accepting that yes, form is an issue, and they are backing him, so they should. He's been a class player, he's been one of the best in the world, and they should back him.
Alright. Siddharth Agarwal says, why India isn't playing more number of ODIs? Because last 2 years have been T20 World Cup years, so primarily their focus has been on T20s, not just India.
And India will play a lot of ODIs as soon as the T20 World Cup is done. Ahead of the 2023 50 over World Cup, you will see.
Go down.
Go down. Prashant Kumar says, problem with Virat is he never had power game. He was always a timer player. Maybe the main reason is he's not getting to score, which is exactly what Prashant would be been saying. He used to time the ball very well, and that timing comes from that hand-eye coordination, that, you know, exact time to strike the ball, and that for that your hand-eye coordination has to be top-notch, your eyesight level, your reaction time has to be top-notch. So which is why what we were saying, that maybe you know, he's finding it tough to get back into form. I'm sure he will work around it. Maybe he needs some time off, maybe he needs to work on his batting and figures out a way to get back into form. Nitish Sharma is saying, I feel Virat's poor form has a lot to do with scheduling also. Virat isn't playing any easy series. Don't you feel he needs to play more in the ODIs? But Nitish, it's not the scheduling by the BCCI. There is an easy series, comparatively easy series coming up versus the West Indies. And as far as I can tell you, the BCCI wanted him to go there.
And he pulls out.
He has pulled out. So, I mean, this is not so much as scheduling, but that's his also choice.
That's what I'm saying. BCCI, fair enough. I don't. BCCI could have forced him maybe.
No, I think BCCI did tell him.
No, I'm saying you have to be more persuasive.
No, but
That's
also you're treading on very, very fine line. I'll tell you why.
I agree. Okay, I know what you are saying. I think because selectors also, everybody, they wanted him to play, but Virat said that he wants to skip the entire tour. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's why I said trust deficit. You have to have somebody, who could have convinced Virat Kohli. Now you pointed out Rahul Dravid, you said Rohit Sharma, you said 4 selectors, Saurav Ganguly, board president.
5 selectors.
No, 4 selectors. No.
There's a 5th.
No, that's the board president I'm talking about. Who's the 5th selector?
No, I'm just saying.
So then,
family members point out.
Yeah, so you have the board secretary also, you have the board treasurer. So that's why I'm saying, maybe Virat, maybe if Ravi Shastri would have been there, he could have convinced him. Boss kid.
Yeah. No, that I agree with you, that you could have spoken to him. Like, I gave an example. If I am Rohit Sharma and I have a World Cup to win this year, and as captain I want to do that, I know that Virat on a crucial day is going to be very crucial for me. He's an asset that I have. I know that on big pressure situation he can come good. So, but the only worry I have right now is his form, right? So I also want, as a captain, I also want him to be in the best of form, because Virat in good form will only help the team, will only help me achieve my dream of taking that, right?
Yes.
So I will also try my best way, as in I'll try and get him back to form. And I'm sure that someone like a Rohit Sharma would want Virat to go and play the West Indies series sometime in the middle. Maybe he gets back into form. It's going to work in everyone's favor, in Virat's favor, Indian team's favor, Rohit Sharma, the captain's favor, everyone. I'm sure he did. But you're right. Maybe he doesn't have that persuasive powers.
Yes.
To convince a Virat, or maybe a Rahul Dravid, or maybe the selectors don't have that power. So maybe then it was left to him.
And the problem lies on both the sides. I'm not saying blaming the others for not being able to convince Virat. Virat not getting convinced is also an issue.
Yeah. But maybe, see, sometimes maybe you are so sure that no, you're stuck that no, I think that time off, why that is interesting, that time off thing, is because I'm just looking at 2 people who are close to him. One was Ravi Shastri first, who said he's overcooked. Clearly, Ravi Shastri, when he says something, it's not just going to be his own opinion. They may have some conversations, or they would have had, right? Now, interestingly, just a day or 2 ago, I heard Ashish Nehra also say it. Someone who was there with him at RCB, they've played international cricket. He said that he needs a break of 4 to 5 weeks. I just read it a couple of days ago. And then he has taken a break. So maybe this is a conversation, they may have had, where I think that Virat is convinced that maybe 4 weeks off, it could be 2 ways, either completely off cricket, or 4 weeks to work on some technical issues that he may have, where he thinks the best way I can work on is with someone, in the nets or in some area with the bowling machines or whatever. And maybe he wants to work on that and come back stronger. I don't know. He is more convinced in that form.
I hope, and I am actually hoping that Virat will come out after this break as a better player than what he is today. I can't say whether
better than what he is today.
Yes, exactly.
But better
not
than
the
what
same Virat Kohli. The Virat Kohli.
That bottom, please.
Right at the bottom. Okay.
Anuprash says about Pant. Anuprash, I think we've had that discussion on Pant at the start of the show, so just go back and check that out, please. We had a very long discussion on Pant, his form, where he stands, what he needs to do at the start of the show. Babar tweet we mentioned, so it's pretty much. So I think Crazy Athar, we've also discussed about Virat and Ranji Trophy also earlier in the show. So these are all aspects that we've discussed. Maybe we can wind up for the day, but you could, what happens now? Close the contested series. We're at 1-all. All to play for on Sunday. Yeah, winner takes it all. 2-1 prediction I have made, so it will be 2-1. So I'm looking forward to it.
2-1. You didn't pick your side though. 2-1 in favor of which team? You didn't say. Anyways, let's save something for Sunday also.
Have you picked your side?
I have.
And tell us.
Jeetega to.
Oh, Oh, you've picked India. Interesting. Yeah, I think it's a closely contested series. Okay, gents and ladies, thank you so much for taking your time, joining us tonight. It's been a long day for us, plenty happening. So we put out all that other contents and a lot of discussions on Virat. Everything you can find it on Sports Today in various other videos that we have done. For the moment, we'll take your leave. We'll see you tomorrow at the dugout that we do in the evening. Rahul is not around, but I will be you're not there tomorrow, right? So I will be joined by my good friends in Shane and Sid.
Hopefully.
Why will they not?
No, I'm saying hopefully.
Well,
I don't know about their plans tomorrow. No?
Oh no, they better be here.
Siddharth,
That's the plan.
If you're listening.
Whatever plans you have, dugout evening 6:15 is always the time to be on Sports Today. So I look forward to seeing you then. Thank you for your company. Bye bye. And even though Sid is not here, as is our usual, shall we?
Vadakkam.
Should we say Vadakkam or shall we?
Yeah, please take that.
Jate jate. Siddharth Agarwal has asked a question about Ashwin. For that, please check out our video that we did in the morning from our respective homes. And we spent 20-30 minutes talking about
and
Ashwin.
Also the pre-match show basically.
Pre-match show.
We had a very lengthy discussion on all the aspects
of the selection.
Although it's
very good show, even though I say it myself.
It was a pre-match show, but we discussed a lot about the selection.
Yeah.
So go and watch it. Because if you we don't have a match tomorrow, so you have plenty of things to watch there.
A lot of insights there, even though we say so ourselves. Finally, thank you guys. Vadakkam. Bye.